Ding 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 ding.
Fubble time.
Yay!
Yay!
Bravo! Hi, my name is Teresa Tomey.
And I'm Patrick Ziegler.
And we are
Fubble Entertainment.
You did it again. And this is
Fubble time.
I'm so proud of your Chiron. It only took us 12 sessions to add our own name. I guess we have it up in the corner. Hey, oh my gosh. I'm not even going to talk to you because I just want to introduce our next guest and get her out here, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh. Vicki Lewis is currently starring as Professor Nightslinger, a stern authoritarian educator who is unimpressed with Nori and her magical abilities in the Disney Channel original movie Upside Down Magic, based on the best-selling book series. She is known to you in that role now because you're going to get on Disney and watch it, but you also know her as Beth in the NBC classic series Newsradio. She also starred opposite Diane Cannon on NBC's Three Sisters. She has been on so many. I mean, she's one of those people you're watching and you're like, oh my gosh, there's Vicky. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. She is a phenomenal triple threat. She has appeared in numerous Broadway shows, of course, since I knew we were bringing her on. I've been
going down the Vicki Lewis rabbit hole.
Vicki Lewis rabbit hole for sure. Got on the Google, and now I can't stop. Shoeless Joe from Hannibal Mo. I can't make it stop in my head. But that's a good thing because I hear Vicki's voice and not mine. So
that is a good thing.
Yeah. Hey, no. Velma Kelly in Chicago. I just saw her. My hubby and I had the privilege to see.
That's right.
That's Countess Lily and Anastasia. She's been in Pixar's Finding Nemo as Deb and Flo. She's going to talk to us about some other projects on her plate. If you do Google her, you'll see theater and television and symphonies and education. I mean, she is all over the map. And tonight, she's with us.
Are you going to sing again?
No, I almost did. It would be
and look who's saying already something. Our friend Danny Salas. Can't wait to see her.
Well, we will bring her out for you, Danny Salas. So
without further ado, here she is. Yay!
Ding 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 ding. How did you do? You do three and then bubble time. I love. Now, see, that's in my head, Teresa. Now you guys are in my head, which is a relief for me. It's always a relief to get out of your own real estate, get into somebody else's rabbit hole. Yes. Hi, you guys.
Hi, Vicki.
And we're glad that Danny is with us because the project that I didn't mention is a thing that Patrick and I wrote and then had produced a staged reading of it with you in Chicago, a little sitcom pilot based on our life and friendship. And Vicki was in that.
That was so good. You had Ed Asner and Marion. Oh my God. And Greg Jabara. Yeah.
We talk about how that was like, we felt like a family. That was like one of my biggest disappointments because we couldn't go on because I felt like we were a family.
Well, and I didn't understand. Well, nobody ever understands why the world doesn't see how special what we're doing, is, or that there's something else like it, or, television is a cruel mistress. But it was beautiful time, and it's just really memorable. It was a great script, and it was relatable. Yeah, no, I think it's not done. I think it just has to find its way.
Well, somebody just joined us, Mr. Zimmerman.
Yay!
Stan,
our friend Stan.
Also, hi, Danny. Hi, Stan.
And Stan actually came up with the idea of making it into a play. So that's one of the things that we've kind of thought about as well. So.
Oh, well, that would be a good play.
I know. Interesting, kind of.
I didn't think about that. And Stan has the ability to just make things happen. You'll say, he'll talk to you about something. I'm talking to you, Stan. And he'll be like, I'm thinking about doing like a little thing. Do you want to be in it? And like, yes. And then 2 days later, there's like 73 memes. He's gotten a producer. There's like people lined up. Like he makes things happen. Yeah.
Well, now he's got his silver foxes. Look at what Danny wrote. Yes. What a cast. And Vicki was wonderful.
Yes, she was.
And Danny, what great. I mean, just you were the perfect glue. I hate that word is so overused, but you were so easy to work with you, and it just we did. We felt like we belonged together.
I know.
Yeah. Like what Stan, you got to share what Stan just said.
Yeah. So Stan.
Get to work on it.
Yeah, that's exactly. Bossy. So bossy.
Well, it was interesting at the time, and last time we had we were in LA and we got together with Marion at Happy Days Farm, which is just amazing. She said, I said something like, we could be in season 8 right now, and they were like, "Shut up!"
My God, is that how long? That was even longer ago. Time is a weird. Yeah,
I know.
I don't.
And I remember her
clock time. Yeah. What did she say?
I remember her saying, "It was it because we were OLD, and at the time it was like they were very age adverse, and now that was before Netflix, Hulu, Amazon really went crazy. So but the experience itself was beautiful and wonderful.
That breaks my heart that she had to say, "Are we OLD?"
Yeah,
that is just. But that's the nature of the beast sometimes. By the way, I'll just say right away, this is going to go like this. Sometimes it might be a halo. I have not figured out my ring light yet. Sometimes it's just there. This is not a fireplace. It's a secretary.
Kind of shape head. The secretary. I don't know. I think because this is shiny, right? Like you shouldn't put your.
I think. Well, the fireplace thought that the gentleman that was interviewing you, I couldn't believe it.
KTLA.
I wasn't going to say it.
He wanted to know. No, it's fine. He was like, my manager right after, she goes, "Should we sell him your secretary? Because times are hard." He seemed to really be interested in it. He was asking me, like, what do I dust it with? Right?
Totally.
Remember the Murphy's oil soap? Yeah. But
well, he said Pine Sol and you, or Lemon Pledge, he said.
Right.
And then you said, no, Murphy's oil soap. And I went, yes, that's what I used.
Yeah, only because of the smell. I just, but why do you think it's shining? And then we can talk about real things. Because it's not just a wall.
Well, the fireplace, it's got that square piece right behind you and almost could look like the indentation of a fireplace.
Oh. Yeah. That does. I could put some fake like.
But it would be a very weird fireplace to have drawers.
Where the fire's right at your neck and it's surrounded by wood.
By wood drawers. Yeah, that would be a weird fireplace.
I was just saying that's the only justification that I could get out of it.
Yeah, no, now I see that, I guess. If you're looking, okay.
Our other friend Vicky says, fun stuff, thanks.
And Stan, which we didn't put up there, says Vicky is always wonderful, which we certainly agree with. And we want to learn more about you. So
we could chit chat so long. Go ahead, Teresa. Sorry.
No, I just want to. One of the things that we've been doing is just starting out by saying, how did you get bit by the old theater / entertainment? Like, when are your earliest memories of going, I want to do this?
My life was never that black and white. It was.
You know what, Vicki? I'm going to totally interrupt you
Roseanne.
Because we have an artist friend. She just said it's the gloss finish that's reflecting. So there we go.
Okay. See, now everybody, this is going to be. It's a thing now. It's not. We can't avoid it. We can't avoid it. It is because I dust that it's doing that.
So beautiful. So anyway, let's hear about your life. Okay.
No, I mean, I was, it's really a very sort of, what's the word? A stereotypical answer. I was really not in my body and not real sure of who I was growing up. And so I didn't really feel accepted until I got around theater people for the first time, and I was like, oh, these are my people. Like, I'm not weird here. They think I'm funny and interesting. And, I remember I was doing a play in high school, and I didn't know what a comedy was. And so I was just doing the play, and people were laughing, and I thought, oh no, like, what am I doing wrong? And I didn't, and that was kind of the first time, like, everybody came around me. It was the first positive attention I think I got. So the more I did it, I'm not sort of being so young, the more attention I got. So I kind of did it for the love of it, to be accepted and to be seen and heard. And then I think as I got older, I started to do it for different reasons. But to be honest, early on, I did it to feel seen and heard and loved mostly. But I think I got better when I stopped doing it for the wrong reason and sort of being so needy within it, you know? But yeah, and then I went to Opryland, and, you know, I was there with Jason Graw,
Oh,
and
wow.
he was my first boyfriend. And then, you know,
You did
I
that a
did
couple
not take
times,
that
probably.
personally. I did that like a lot of times. There was like a year where I was the person who was, making people aware that they were gay. It's fine. I not take it personally.
I had a few of those boyfriends.
Yeah, I'm glad I could be of help. Glad to be of service. Yeah, and then, you know, I think I got, it's also just I'm kind of intrigued and obsessed a little bit with the human condition, I think, like any actor or artist. And it's intriguing to me to live in other people's worlds. And of course, I love to sing and dance. So, yeah, pretty much.
So you went to same school as Scott did.
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
I went to CCM, and it was like a year, a kind of a big year. Like it was Faith Prince, and Liz Calloway was my roommate, and Kim Criswell, Jason Graw. Oh my God, there were so many people. Like it was a kind of a big time. And I didn't graduate. Neither did Liz. We kind of left after, she left after 1 year and I left after 2, because I got my equity card at CLO, Pittsburgh Civic Light Opera, and I got to carry Dixie Carter's The Train of Her Dress, like, and, you know, she had this little cup and she would spit in it, like, before she, you know, to get, like, the phlegm out of her throat, and I would take that back. She wasn't rude ever, but, like, I was, like, that was what I know.
Our friend Roseanne that commented, she's got a gag thing. She's probably gagging right now.
I'm so sorry. She was really lovely, but like I was like so in awe at the time. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Look at you spit in the cup. Now I rinse it out. It's exciting, isn't it?
And you got your equity card from Dixie Carter spitting in a cup. Who can say that?
So I mean, oh my God. And then I just went to New York. Like I didn't have any fear. You know, I think if I had known now what I know, I would have been more fearful. But I think I had like $35, literally. So I just sort of would always jump in, and then, you know, without a net, and then find myself, you know, it's not until I got older that fear crept in, you know, when I realized, oh, who's that person, or I'm auditioning and who's that, when you don't know anything and you're just sort of, you know what you want. I think there was less fear for me. But
what's interesting,
until I went to New York.
The more success you got, I think there's something that holds along with that and does create an entity of fear, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're younger and just going after it, there's so much freedom. And then all of a sudden there's just this, I don't want to say responsibility, but there's just, it weighs a little more, right? And so to get past that and find that freedom again is not always easy.
No, I think the worst thing and the best thing that can happen is that you finally get the amount of, or somewhere close to, notoriety, paycheck. Do you know what I mean? That you think the brass ring always, you know, that you're grabbing for. You finally get that, and then it's always on some level going to be taken away. Right? Because there's always going to be a valley that follows the hill, whether it's a big one or a little one. It doesn't sustain, and you don't, I didn't know that at the beginning. You know, Phil Hartman would always say to me, remember, this doesn't last.
Wow.
And even though I was 34 when Newsradio started, I was relatively older. You know, I'm glad I had all that prior experience, because, you know, the 15 minutes or whatever that was didn't define me. I had already sort of figured out who I was. But if you were thrown into that, and then when it's taken away, and then, you know, it's, you know, again, it's a cliche, but when you get to a certain age as a woman in television, there's an invisibility that happens that feels cruel. And so you start to question. That's, for me, was the first time I questioned, is it my talent? Is it, you know, like you get, because the phone stops ringing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you're in that strange place of you're too old to be the kooky, funny neighbor, but you're not, and you're too strange to be the mother unless, and so but you're not old enough to be the grandmother. And thank God, like, that's when my husband said to me, I was teaching at USC for 9 years, which I absolutely loved. But he looked at me one day and he said, you got to go back. You got to go back. And I said, I haven't been there in so many years.
You got to go back
years.
to New York.
New York.
And
so we were talking about earlier, but he's like, you're just going to go there. And then the audition for Anastasia came through and I did it on tape, and then they flew me in and I got it. And I know. And so I was in New York for a year, and it was, what I needed. I had to sort of be reminded that I had talent and that I had joy doing it. And that, do you know what I mean? I felt like I went home to what really always centered me, even though I love television and film, and I'm grateful that I do it from time to time. And, and then I was going to be doing Between the Lines, which is a new off-Broadway musical based on the book by Jodi Picoult. We had, such a great cast, Julia Murney and, Jeff Calhoun directing. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know Jeff?
From back with Grease. Isn't that where I would have met him?
Yes.
Because that's when I met you, was during that whole Grease, Damn Yankees
right.
time frame.
Did he direct Grease?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember how we don't really know each other that well, but we did back then.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Business. Yeah, we all know each other. Oh, I know her. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, but he was directing, and we were going to start rehearsal on March 23rd, and I had flown back to LA just to be with my family before I went back, and I had rented an apartment March for a year. And then they shut the city down on March 13th. But, I had finally gone back, and I had done some really fabulous labs. And, I came alive, and I really loved it. And then it was taken away from me.
Wow.
And, it was hard for me not to be resentful about that part of it. Like, wait, I don't have a year right now that I want to give away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hear that.
I've worked really hard. I'm finally in this second act of sort of, however you want to, fifth act, and I'm so loving this, and I've waited so long, and the rug just got pulled out. And I am certainly not alone. My story is not tragic, but it threw me for a loop,
Yeah.
I was going to say we've got a
Roseanne. I want to put the first one up if I can, Teresa.
Great.
Because I like what she says about you on News Radio. She says, many of my favorite News Radio episodes are the ones where you sing.
Yeah. And they were my favorite ones. I mean, that's my spot. That's my joy. Like, when I'm singing, I'm the happiest I think I get. But those were mine too, like doing the duet with Phil Hartman, and and they were so great to do that, because they knew I sang. It was very cool of them to incorporate it.
That about when we did Kalamazoo is that we incorporated it into the script, because it wasn't originally in it, I don't believe, Teresa, until we knew that you were secured, and we also had you do the opening title, which was fantastic.
Oh, I forgot about that. And didn't Anne Calloway? No, I'm making that up.
No,
I made that whole thing up. Never mind. Okay. But
I like where you were going with it, whatever that was.
Why did I? Well, she wrote the theme song to The Nanny, but why did I think?
No, this was I've Got a Life in Kalamazoo. It was I Got a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I Got a Life. Wait, how did it go?
You got it. I'm not going to sing it. Don't make me sing it.
I forgot the melody though. I got Teresa.
It's based on the I Got a Life in Kalamazoo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Isn't that terrible? I don't remember.
But I don't remember.
I Got a Gal in Kalamazoo.
I Got a
Life in Kalamazoo.
In Kalamazoo. I'm making it up.
That's all it was, I think.
That's all it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it was great. Yeah.
Roseanne wants to know if you kept any of Beth's wardrobe.
And I did. I have and we just located because we were cleaning out storage because that's what everybody does in COVID. And we found like a third dress, but I have, I think, 4 pieces, and literally I can't get them. I can get them to here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was so skinny my whole life, and now it's, I eat, a sandwich and I can see it, immediately. But yeah, I have like 4 of my favorite pieces. Yeah.
That's very fun. So wait, so you were doing, we're kind of jumping around your life a little bit, but you were doing the Broadway thing. I mean, you were. I
was there.
You did Velma.
Sorry,
Kelly, Chicago. What was your trajectory in New York before you then took off to LA?
It's funny. So I was in New York kicking around a while. Like, I did 2 Broadway musicals right away. I did
Whoops.
Did something happen?
Yeah, I was going to show us the
the clip.
Yeah, here. Hold on one second.
Okay.
If you can hear.
Well, it's very fancy, Patrick.
Oh, that's the Kalamazoo. Can't hear it, but.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No.
I kind of heard it.
Okay.
But anyway, you were saying.
So.
You were kicking around New York.
Yeah, I went to New York. I got a Broadway show called Do Black Patent Leather Shoes Really Reflect Up?
Oh, yes.
And yeah. And we went out of town in Philadelphia, and we were a huge hit because of Catholic school and Catholic town. And so we were there for 6 months, and we thought we were the bee's knees, and I didn't know anything. I was 21 or something. And we came in, and like, I think we ran a week, and like at the end of the week, there'd be like 4 nuns, in the audience, and and so you go like, oh, okay. And so then the next one I did was Wind in the Willows. And that was based on the book, right? That I forget who wrote it now. This beautiful story, but he had written it for his son who was blind, which I didn't know. So that's why the language was so beautiful. But the character of Mole in the book is a male character, and they changed it to a female character, and that's who I played, so that there was a love interest between the rat and the mole. And the New York Times review started with, how dare they flaw a shared memory, right? So that was that show. I mean, it's just as hard to get into the flops. And so it sort of went, like this for a long time. And then I went in to audition for a movie called I'll Do Anything, which was the first movie I did. And Jim Brooks was the director.
Oh, wow.
And he was making it into a musical originally, and Twyla Tharp was involved, and a lot of big names. And I went in to sing, and he just kept asking me for more songs. And he was like beguiled by my voice. And literally I said, I don't have anything left in the book. Like, I think I was in there an hour, you know what I mean? Like, he was like, what else have you got? Can you sing this? And it was such a fascinating thing. And then I didn't hear anything for months. And then I got that film, and then I got out to LA. And in the meantime, I had an audition from there for Damn Yankees. Yes. So I worked on the film. I did the film. Then I went to New York. I went to San Diego to do Damn Yankees. Then we went to Broadway. And then I left after 6 months and went back to LA because I was dating someone famous. And also he asked me to come back. No, just please, never mind. And so taxi. But anyway, so then that planted me in LA, and I started to audition for sitcoms and things. And my friend Marjorie Gross was a writer on Seinfeld, and she was kind enough to write me the role of George's secretary. So I ended up doing 3 episodes of that. And, I was out there and I auditioned for Newsradio and I got it. I mean, it was really just timing and luck and talent. And
talent, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had gotten a lot better. I mean, I had no training. I left after a year and a half, 2 years. So I really was learning in the public, right?
When you say no training, do you mean film and TV training because you had
That,
theater training.
yes, and but I didn't finish, college. I didn't have, I was lucky enough to have Worth Gardner at CCM at the time, and I think without him, I would have been completely lost. I had talent, innate talents,
Yes.
but they were not focused in any particular way. And so doing the movie gave me real confidence. And so I started to figure out kind of who I was. Again, such a cliche. And so the auditioning and the work got clearer, and my point of view got clearer in the room, I think. And so then that train started, and it was like that for 10 years. I was so lucky. I worked when they actually paid you. It was just SAG. There were 5 networks. I'm grateful I got a pension out of it. But I did Newsradio, Three Sisters, and I would, Seinfeld, Home Improvement, Murphy Brown,
Curb Your Enthusiasm, right?
Curb Your Enthusiasm, Caroline in the City, and then the newer ones, Modern Family, Bones, Grey's Anatomy. I've just guested a lot. And then I did, after Newsradio on some of the hiatuses, like I made Mouse Hunt and Godzilla, Pushington.
Which was a fun cast in Mouse Hunt.
Mouse Hunt was great. Gore Verbinski, that was his first movie.
Oh, wow.
And all he had done before that was the Miller Lite frog commercial. I know we were talking about poison frogs earlier. And so when Nathan Lane would get mad at him, he'd be like, "We're not frogs, it's not Miller Lite." Like, it was really funny. They had a banter. It wasn't me. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, because one night we were shooting nights and we were just laying in the mud because the house had exploded, and they would be like, literally, it was like 30 degrees and we were soaking wet, and they would be camera, lights, douse some, and a big bucket of water would come onto you, and then you'd have to pretend like you weren't, shivering. But so there was some banter, like, "What do you think, we're frogs?" So, but that was his first film, and as we know, he's really talented.
Wow.
And so that just went on, and then because of all that, I was asked to do Deb and Flo in Finding Nemo. Actually, I had auditioned for A Bug's Life, and they liked my voice, and they had saved it, which I didn't know.
Oh.
And they would play it under different things, and then they offered me Finding Nemo. And I flew up to Cupertino, like I was there for 4 hours. And it was fabulous, and I worked alone, and I had fun, and then that movie was the result of it, and it was such a big,
huge.
A big hit. Yeah, huge.
Roseanne's got an interesting question, if I may.
We gotta ask Fred Stella too.
Yes, Roseanne says, "Vicki, do you?" First of all, she said, "Did Dave Foley keep any of Beth's wardrobe from Newsradio?"
Not that I'm aware of.
Her next question, which I find, it's good. Vicki, do you have any pre-performance rituals or superstitions? Because Roseanne works in the theater world with us as well.
Oh, okay. I don't. Let's see. Wait, maybe I do have superstitions. No, I don't have superstitions, but I get to the theater ridiculously early. Like, it's funny. Like in Anastasia, I wasn't on until Act 2, but I would get there like 6, because I don't like to feel rushed. So for me, I just use those couple hours to sort of slowly, like, I don't like to rush into the theater and then places. I did that when I was younger, but nowadays, I get there really early and I hang out, and then I'll do like my, pin curls, and I hang out. Yeah. And I sing everything at home lightly as I can, because it's how I warm my voice up slowly without. I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know what just happened. So I sing everything really quietly, and then I'll do it higher than I sing it in the show, and then I'll do it lower than I sing in the show. Yeah, and I don't know why, but it warms my voice up slowly, because if I can do it really quietly, I know I can belt it. If I can't do it quietly, I know my cords are inflamed, and so I can still push through it. But so that's what I do. Other than that, I mean, literally, like, I'm terrible. Like, I drink, Coke, and I eat chocolate. I like to have a milkshake. Like, people are like, how are you, but that's basically what I do.
Fred,
And go ahead and read Fred's, Teresa.
well, my husband was so disappointed he wasn't going to be here tonight because he had to go to a fundraiser. So he just wrote, at a concert now, but current band sucks, so I can watch. Hi, Vicki. And then he wrote, being backstage at Anastasia, I don't think he spelled it right, was the greatest moment of my life. So he had
Anastasia. That's a Patrickism right there.
And Brazier. Yeah, we had fun. I know it was so great when people that I really liked and knew came, because it was such a celebratory time for me. I really loved it. It was just pure joy, and the people were so nice.
Blast. You could see that you were having a blast. Like, what have been your favorite experiences overall? I mean, are there memorable moments within things that are your favorite, or overall things? I mean, you've had an amazing career.
Damn Yankees was great, truly great in every way.
That's when we met Mr. Jabara.
Yeah.
Did you meet Greg before that?
No, I met him doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it was Jack O'Brien directing and Rob Marshall choreographing. And, when we got to New York, we were really well received. And to get to do that number on the Tony Awards was one of the most exciting moments, I think, for me ever. Oh. Also, when I first went into Chicago, because Anne Ranking taught me the routines. Wow. So I was in Florida with her, like in a room, and she was adjusting some of the choreography to fit my body. And I was like, I was sort of like that the whole time. And then when we did it out of town, we wanted to do it out of town before we came in. Nana Visitor played the other role, Roxy, and I loved her. And we did it out of town in Washington, and we got these rave reviews. And, so it was, did anybody really care as much as we did? No, the show had already opened. But we felt like we were winning, and doing well and telling the story and earning our right to be in it. And so the first time I did it on Broadway was really a special thing for me. And Anastasia was like really remarkable, not just because I hadn't been on Broadway in so long, but because the cast was so incredibly nice. And, when you go into a cast that's been running and been together for 2 years, you don't know what you're going to get. It could be, it runs the gamut, and it's very, likely there's going to be toxic, or there's going to be cliques, and they were just right from the get-go so supportive and amazing. And
you were in it till it closed? Yeah.
I did it for a year. I had a year contract, and then I did like 3 or 4 more months just to close it out. Yeah.
My cohort back in New York City was Brooke Basson, and she and I saw Damn Yankees together a couple of times, and used to go bowling and play softball and all that fun stuff together. One of my favorite moments was we saw the New Year's Eve night, which was who played the devil? I'm blanking on his name.
Victor Garber.
It was his last performance, and the whole cast, and they said, Victor, do your imitation. And he was like, okay. And he, I guess, would do this Glenn Close and Sunset Boulevard imitation. Yes. And he's doing this, and Glenn Close came walking on stage behind him. I will never forget that moment.
Oh my God. That seems like ages ago. And BB was in there, and so many fun people. Yeah.
Well, we've got lots of Damn Yankee. I think it looks like there's a Mickey Maxwell. Mickey Maxwell is here. Damn Yankees. Stan talking about probably Anastasia, or Anastasia, as it were.
Well, you know what? He actually was talking about it when she was talking about patent leather shoes and that whole time. So I'm wondering if that's when he saw you on Broadway. So
Stan.
I don't know.
I think he was doing it for Anastasia.
Well, Stan, you can tell us.
Yeah, Stan, tell us when you met me. Yeah.
When you first saw her on Broadway.
But Vicki, I'm
Go
also
ahead.
curious because you have so much of this Broadway experience and television experience, but you also You sing with symphonies. You do Jupiter Theater. You do, I mean.
I never stopped doing theater.
You never stopped doing theater. I mean, that's so wonderful. I love that.
And I've created these great relationships. So like, I think I did Annie, Gypsy, Hello Dolly. You know, I've worked at that. I've done those shows at the Maltz, and then I work a lot at Sacramento Music Theater. I think I've done 5 or 6 shows there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But you said at the Maltz, not at the mall.
No, the mall.
I do shows at the mall all the time, you guys. It's underrated. Like, you don't.
The Sherman Oaks Mall.
I go to different malls. I like the Galleria for sure.
The Galleria.
Can you imagine? And you do shows in malls. I guess you could. Like, Maltz Jupiter Theater, which used to be the Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Which I worked. That's how old I am. I also worked at the Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater.
So you had one of those careers where you have just worked with. I mean, you have.
Well, I just never stop working. I mean, that's if there's a job, I'm a person who says yes most of the time. You know, I like to be working. Yeah.
We're glad you said yes to us. First of all, you said yes to us on Come On Over, which was so much
fun.
Oh my! I will never forget when you got done singing your number, and the whole crew and cast applauded for you, and you were like, "What the?" And Jabara turned to you and goes, "Just like LA, huh?"
You know, and I have amazing photos from that. Whoever took the photos was nice enough to send me. Do I have like a roll of them? But I remember I got to pick out and the photos were amazing. I don't know, do you guys have them? Because I do, if you'd like them. Yeah, just great photos.
And Joel thumbs up, but I don't, I didn't know if he was going to be joining us tonight. Yeah, because I could see he was very happy you were going to be with us. So the nice thing is we have this on in rerun too, so people can catch it.
I love to call it rerun.
Well, that's what we do now. We find our way through. Oh my God.
So
what is all of this? Yes, go ahead.
What do you see? I know you're going to go back to your the show, the Sidewalk. Wait, what's the name of the show? All of a sudden I blanked on the show.
Singing on the Sidewalk in New York.
Okay, it was great.
Back to Between the Lines. Between the lines.
I was thinking the Sidewalk Ends, and I'm like, no, that's not it. Singing on the sidewalk.
People are going to walk away from this going, she sings at malls. She's gotten a little weird, and on the sidewalks.
Actors have to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Between the Lines, yes, at second stage. That's where nice. We're doing it. Yeah.
And so what else is there something that you're like, I would like to do this? Do you have a specific
I was doing it last year. So I was finally creating roles in labs of new musicals. That, I did Stew for Silverton, which is based on the first transgender mayor.
Oh, wow.
Silverton's true story, transgender mayor. So, and there were many trans people in the cast, and I learned so much, being among them and being so impressed and just it was such an eclectic group of people with big hearts and great stories and courage, and it was incredible, and is an incredible show. So being a part of that early on, I also did another lab. Why is it going to slip my mind? But that I was doing what I want to do, which is to be in New York and continue to do theater on, whatever level that is. I just, I found my happy place again, and that's what I want to do. And, it's funny because I was in New York, and then, I did the Blacklist, and then I got the film in New York, because there's so much more television in New York now. It's not like you give up, television auditions and theater auditions, and especially now, of course, I'm going to have to fix this and then get a job. Like, I don't really know, people are going to make it through that tape. But
Danny
yeah.
asked, how has Vicki been staying creative during COVID?
Oh, that's not a good, it's not pretty. It's like, honestly, I have, early on, I mean, I would vacillate from like, snow day from life to, just sheer 1,000 forms of fear and terror to just being complacent, right? And sort of numbed out. I couldn't figure out, honestly, how to navigate it. Not that I have now, but the deeper we're into it, I think the more I just find I write,
Nice.
And I would like to, I'm gonna learn, I think, to be a what's it called? Oh God, a contact tracer, because you can learn it online and you do it from your house. So I thought, well, I could put my energy into something helpful. But honestly, I just try to find a rhythm to the day, which means when I go out and when we exercise and when, but the options, as you know, are limiting.
Right.
So, and I'm in LA right now and it's just shut down. I'm heading to New York in a couple weeks.
Oh, wow.
Because I know, because my dentist is there and I have to go to the dentist. I know. And I want to go back and like take a look at my apartment. I've had friends stop by, but I just haven't been there. And I think it's okay to go there now. But the journey there, like, I'm going to look like an astronaut and I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm nervous about the journey, but yeah, I'm going to head back there and that'll be an adventure. And I know, Teresa, you're going to head out here because you and I both have apartments that are not being utilized. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know, and you're risking it, and it's like, what are you going to do? And I know we're running out of time. We've already gone over, but you've got such breadth to your life. You also have music. I mean, you've written music, you've recorded music, you have an album. I mean,
that was my dark period. That was like Joni Mitchell. What's that album, Blue? Or that was a cathartic album. I'm very proud of it. I wondered what it was.
I was listening to some of it. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. I'm proud of it. It's very poetic and very dark. But I just got the bug to like want to start writing again because of, what's happening now, just wanting to create.
Yeah.
And are you writing music? Is that what you're writing? Or?
I do. I'm not a writer, so I don't even like to say, yes, I'm writing music but I think I'm a pretty good lyricist. And so it comes out of like poetry and sort of cathartic writing. If you look at that album at all, it's more, the mood is what do I want to say? I think I'm a pretty good writer. Melodies, are not great. I had a great orchestrator. So, they turn my melody into something that seems far more interesting than it is. But yeah, I like to do it, so I don't know,
Well, I just love that you were doing. I love asking you that question. You're like, I was actually doing it. And so I believe, like you talked about the peaks and valleys of this, that peak will come back because you now know what it is, right? And so if we step into that and allow it to come to fruition in whatever way that it's meant to, then it will, right?
Yes, I think so.
I've seen that over and over, and I've experienced it over and over. There's been times where I'm like to Teresa, oh, that show is going to sell. Everybody's telling us, and it doesn't sell.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I'm done with this business. I'm not going to go. Yeah. And then we get all excited and we go in for a pitch and it goes really well. And so,
but that's great because it reminds you that it's the long game.
Yeah.
You just play the long game. Yeah. You can't play the short game or you will lose your mind. This is a unique scenario for sure. But I do believe just because of the heart and soul of the people that do theater on every level, the ushers, the people that are at the door every night, all those backstage guys that are so fucking great. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
No, it's okay.
front of house, back of house, wardrobe, it's a family, and our heart and souls are just in it. So,
Totally.
there's no way it won't come back to life. It's just a matter of time.
And it might come back in a different form, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we were actually just talking about this the other night because we're doing a documentary on community theater right now. Teresa and I have been working on this, and in one of the interviews about the history of theater, somebody said theater will always be there. Theater's just always going to be there, and what form it's going to take, it's changed many, many, many times, right?
Yeah.
But it's always going to be there. It's been there since the beginning of time.
And like you said, it's because, like, for your attraction to it, the human condition and understanding what that is.
Yeah.
And so we're going to need theater to understand the human condition.
And so
absolutely. Yeah.
So Brooks says, Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, can you see that? It's so far away. No, I think people are going to need, to feel and express themselves as audience members. I know I do as an audience member. Yeah. So it's the coming together of that. What is Brooks saying?
Brooks says, Vicki Lewis is awesome. One of my favorites on Seinfeld, amongst many other things. Can't wait until the theaters reopen.
I know, that's true. Thank you.
And she's a New York writer and documentarian. Did I say that right, Teresa? Documentarian? Was that the right word?
There was an extra N in there or something, right? It's a whole extra section.
That's my fumble.
Documentarian.
Documentarian?
You should keep it though, because that's what you do. You're not a What's the real word?
I think we should end on
that. Wait, is it documentarian?
It would be documentarian.
No,
documentarian.
Is it docutarian?
Documentarian. What are you?
That sounds like too many syllables, but maybe that is what it is.
Well, that's where Fubble came from, because I fubble, and so that's
where I don't know either.
Documentarian. Yeah, it's documentarian.
So did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yes. You're right.
Documentarian.
Feels wrong though. I don't know why.
Documentarian is terrible. You don't want to
You don't want to be.
You know what's so surreal to me right now is that the two of you, because you are so similar in so many ways, and it's like now I have both of you, because usually I just have Teresa, or in the show I just had Vicki playing Teresa. Now I'm like, oh my god, my nightmare.
Too much.
Brooke says yes. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Great.
Oh, Vicki, what a riot!
It's a treat to see your face.
So great to catch up. Yeah.
Oh, and Vicki, is there any? We always ask this. Is there any we ask our guests? Is there any cause that you're behind right now? I mean, clearly the Actors Fund is a big one, but that if people feel that they want to donate to, who can? We always put that out.
I'm a huge Actors Fund person because they helped me early on when I thought it was game over. So they're just the best, and we need that to be funded right now more than anything, I think. People,
because it's not only the actors, it's all the other people you were just talking about.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Actors Fund.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we could go forever. This is so fun.
We'll have to do part 2.
I know.
In 6 months when you've got through all your other people. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Vicki. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys. Of course. Yeah. I'll talk to you in the.
Yeah. In the green room.
I'll be in the green room. Yes.
Oh, yay!
Yay! Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
On a walk. Okay.
Oh, good for them. Okay.
Oh, well,
I know. I didn't mean to do this.
No, it's fine. How rude.
Take your dogs out. No. We'll talk to you in a minute. Okay.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Oh, and Danny just says, love you, just the best. Yay.
Nice. And she was still talking again.
Well, we got to end.
I know. I think this is our longest episode.
It is, because I just feel like we could have gone on and on and on.
She's just so much breadth of work. I know. I just wanted to ask her why we didn't even talk about her directing. Like, she directs and just what parts of her brain she uses. Did
we talk about her movie?
We didn't even talk about her movie.
We did. Because we talked about it before.
we talked about it before a little bit, and then it was in her bio. So we will definitely have to get her back for part 2.
Okay, real quick, Vicki, I'm going to pop you back in and tell us about the movie real quick. There you go.
Oh, you did a really good. You did sell it at the top.
We did. Okay.
Yeah. We don't. It's Upside Down Magic on the Disney Channel. There you go. That's all.
There we go.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We gotta get out of here.
We do. Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Oh, Danny, what a pleasure.
Everybody's showing up.
Yay. Watch